Yeah, I appreciate the introduction. Let's see if you guys see me looking back and forth because I got a split screen. My PowerPoint's here. All the faces are over here. But yeah, my name is Talon Harper. Like John said, we connected maybe a couple months, maybe a month back. Just threw some ideas out. I do have an investing background. It's kind of how I got in cahoots with Northwest. They were actually helping me as an investor close all my deals. And eventually our paths just kind of aligned where I was able to join Northwest. It's a lot of experience I had. As an individual, I was able to bring over to Northwest. So yeah, today we're talking about Google Ads. I am much better at Q&A than I am, preaching to the choir. So if anybody has any questions, like in the middle of stuff, please feel free to just stop me or just start talking, and I can answer questions in between. Um, but if everybody is ready, I can start diving into some of the things I wanted to talk about today. So let's see. Okay, well, I'll go ahead and just dive in. And like I said, I encourage people to stop me. Can everybody hear me okay? Okay, cool. Okay, let's see. All right, so this is just talking a little bit about my background, why you should care what I have to say. Like I just mentioned, I do work with Northwest. My background is majority investing. I did start off wholesaling. That's how I was getting, majority of my deals. My experience, just kind of getting my feet wet in the real estate space. Now I do much more fix and flipping and rentals, and I find all my own deals. I think I've maybe up to 150 deals will be count wholesale, fix and flip and rentals, and I've maybe bought like one on market. So finding deals off market is what I do. It's a kind of the best way to get the best kind of deals, especially if you're looking to buy at a discount and do some of the things I was looking to do. And PPC or Google Ads is actually how I started my business from scratch. Now I started in 2018, so it was a little different, 6 years ago or 5 years ago, 5.5 years ago than it is today. But nonetheless, it still works. I still use it today. I've been probably running Google Ads continuously for the last 5.5 years, and it allowed me to start my business as somebody that had no credibility, and it allowed me to scale with it too. So I definitely a big advocate for Google Ads. I have invested a lot of my own personal money. I'm not homeless yet. Um, and once upon a time, when I was back in college, I also used to run a marketing agency for real estate professionals, and that was investors, it was agents, it was everybody that was looking for real estate leads. So I've created maybe 50 or so accounts for other people and help them set up their accounts and run their Google Ads successfully. I did get some angry phone calls, but nobody was too mad at me because they were making money. So Google Ads is definitely something I've had a lot of experience in. I've paid for a ton of courses, and I'm going to share that information for free. That way, you'll never have to. But yeah, let's go ahead and dive into some things. So yeah, this is where to start. The biggest thing I guess I'll talk about here is where to start. Setting up your Google Ads account is almost as easy as setting up a Facebook account. It asks you some questions as far as who you are, who you're looking to target, and things like that. When you set your account up, I would say the number one thing I always see people do that may be killing their traffic to their website or their conversion to their website is having a website that does not convert. So that's probably the biggest thing I would stress. I've seen a lot of people, if you're doing it, whatever, but I've seen a lot of people run Google Ads to their brokerage website. And there's a lot of studies out there that kind of tell you what website converts the best. And it's typically a website that has a landing page on the front with a lead capture right as soon as the page loads up. When people are on Google, they know what they're searching for. They type it into the search bar. They know exactly what they're looking for. So when they come to your page, they're not exactly looking to learn a ton more before they can reach out. They're just looking to submit their information. And that's usually what works best as far as converting leads when they come to your website. And then, yeah, you just go through the process of setting up your account. Once you set it up and you have a good website that converts, and if you want to create your own website, you can do that. There's a platform called Carrot. I guess if anybody was curious, they'll build a website for you, and it is only real estate focused. So they only work with investors. They only work with real estate agents. So everything they do is real estate focused. Their websites are known to convert. Honestly, if you go to Google right now and you type "sell my house fast," a Carrot website will pop up. I can almost promise you, guarantee you that, because they're so popular in the real estate space, and they know how to create websites that convert pretty well and build your SEO as you're going through the process of setting up Google Ads. And then once you kind of get through the process, you want to narrow down who and where you want to target. Of course, that's based off the individual. Pretty simple there. You just narrow it down, where you want to target if you're looking for zip codes in certain areas, or certain areas, or even if you're looking to branch outside of Columbus, you can do that as well. And then probably the last thing you have to set up when you go to create your account is max clicks versus max conversions. Now the two are similar but different. I would say the most common practice is people typically start with max clicks when they first create their account, and then they eventually shift into max conversions when they're doing their account setup. The big strategy difference is max clicks is going to send the most amount of traffic possible to your website within your niche. So if you're looking for real estate people who are looking to sell their property, it's going to send the most amount of people to your website that might be looking to sell. Whereas max conversions is going to direct your budget specifically towards those who are probably most likely to sell. So your max conversions is going to send less people to your website, but they should be more qualified. Max clicks is going to send a variety to your website who are looking for the same thing, just probably less vetted in the fact that they're actually looking to buy or sell a property. The reason why people usually start with max clicks before they go to max conversions is max clicks allows Google Ads to kind of learn who's clicking on your website, who's staying on your website and actually converting to a lead. It allows people a lot more traffic to come through your website and lets Google learn a lot faster who they should be looking for and who they should be sending to your website. Whereas max conversions is a little bit more limited up front. It's just looking for the most qualified. It's not looking for a variety, and it's going to send those to your website. So there's no right or wrong on whatever your bid strategy is. It's just more or less what's in your budget and kind of what you're looking for in the beginning. So that's kind of the initial setup part. And we'll go through a little bit more once we get into the actual account in the next couple of slides.
And I dropped in the chat, the carrot.com URL as well as where to go on Google for setting up your ads account.
Yep, I appreciate that. All right, so this is my favorite slide here, the most amount of words. So the account setup process is not necessarily complicated once you simplify it down a little bit. There's a little diagram down here to kind of show you the process, but it's a lot simpler than people make it. When you set up your Google Ads accounts, there's a campaign at the top, the campaign in which you're looking to target people, and then you're gonna have to create what's called ad sets. So ad sets are your different types of marketing messages, but to the same audience. So your ad sets will be things like sell your house for top dollar or sell your house fast. So these are two different messages reaching the same audience. It's just worded a little differently because what people are looking for, what they like to be communicated to is a little differently. So it's the same message, but going to a different audience or the same audience. And it's just creating assets to reach each different types of way people like to be communicated to. Typically, best practice is to have at least 4 ad sets, but no more than 10. And it's mostly a budget thing. You'll want to have at least 4. That way you're reaching, a variety of people versus just one. You'll miss out on leads if you're just looking to streamline and go one way. And if you do too many, you're spreading your budget too thin, and you just won't get the conversions you're looking for. So best practice is probably about 4 ad sets, and then probably no more than 10 is pretty healthy for an ads account. And then once you have your ad set up, you'll probably create 1 to 3 responsive search ads. Responsive search ads sound confusing at first when you first click on it. 6 years ago, it was just text ads, which is just a lot more simple. But basically what responsive search ads are, if you guys see up here at the top, where it says we buy houses cash fast, no repairs needed. These are your headers. When people make Google, I want to sell my house, this is what they're going to see. And obviously a picture here in the description. So what responsive search ads are is you give Google 15 headers for them to rotate through, like 5 descriptions and maybe a few pictures. And what Google Ads is going to do is it's going to rotate between the headers, rotate between the descriptions, rotate through some of the information you have on your ad set to find the best combination of the 3 to the best combination of the 3 that converts the best. So it's going to rotate through a few. Typically, I say 1 to 2 responsive search ads, which ends up being like 30 headers, and Google Ads is going to do its part and then finding what people click on the most, what people convert the most, and it's going to send most of your or direct most of your budget to that part of your campaign. That way you're getting people to parts where they're actually converting. So I think I'll set up site links. So site links, I guess the best example is if you look up like a restaurant near you, they would have site links like the menu, their location, their hours, things like that. For real estate, it's obviously a little bit different, but it's basically a call to action, or people click on a certain site link that will take them to a certain page of what they're looking to offer. Now, it doesn't have to take them to a new page, but basically just to a page that's going to answer their questions. So if they're looking for, how much your house is worth, you can send them to a page where they can lead capture and call you to find out. So things like that, and it helps people. These typically actually convert a lot better than the just regular headers, because people are typically looking for a certain thing. And if you have some site links that cost them right away, then they'll usually click on those. And then next up, keywords. Keywords is probably the most important part of your campaign. Obviously, what you're going to be found for is based off the keywords you have in your campaign. So keywords are a little tricky in the fact that they have to be managed. You don't want to be directing budget to those keywords that are not performing for you. So you should have 20 to 30 keywords for every ad set. So like I said, you have maybe 4 ad sets, 4 to 5. So you should have 20 to 30 keywords each ad set. So if you have 5 ad sets, you'll have 100 to 150 keywords. So it's not just 20 to 30 for the whole campaign, it's for the ad set. The reason why you don't want more than 30 is because you're going to start spreading your budget too thin. You don't want less than 20, because then people are going to be searching for stuff and you're not going to be popping up just because you don't have enough keywords in your campaign to be seen. And when you go to put your keywords in your campaign, it's going to give you 3 options between broad, phrase, and exact keywords. And it's kind of exactly as it sounds as far as what they are. So broad keywords are things that have a large spectrum of what people can type in and find you for. Phrase is a little bit of a smaller spectrum, or people type in something that matches similar to what your keyword is, you'll still be found. And then exact is obviously, exact. They type in exactly what you're looking for. The reason why you want a healthy mix is because if you're too broad, you're getting people coming to your website that will not convert. Your conversion will be really low and you'll just be blowing your budget. Phrase is good. I like phrase. And exact, obviously, you don't want to be too exact because people misspell words. They type things differently than you. And you don't want them to not be able to find you just because they type things differently than you. So a healthy mix between the 3 is usually pretty good. And people making sure they can find you. And then next down here, negative keywords and removing non-performing keywords. So basically, you don't have to do this on a daily basis, but you do have to upkeep your campaign. So when people are searching for selling their property, they're going to be typing things into Google Ads. So say they type in sell my house fast, you want to pop up for that. If they type in I want to sell my car fast, you do not want to pop up for that. So when you go to search terms, you're going to see what people are typing into Google to find you. So if you go to search terms and you see somebody typed in something that you don't want to be found for, you'll want to add it as a negative keyword. That way you don't pop up for that again. You're not wasting your budget for people to be looking for you and they're not looking for what you have to offer. So that's what I mean when I say add negative keywords. It can be daunting. It can be mundane to actually go in there every day to do search terms and make sure you're not popping up for things you want to pop up for, but it keeps your campaign healthy. It keeps your budget going to where you want to be found to.
And Talon, real quick, on the keywords and stuff, doesn't Google help you out
Google
with
does help you out, yeah.
recommendations along like what you're already kind of typing in?
Yeah, so Google Ads does help you out. They actually gives your keywords a quality score too, so you can kind of Google will recommend the words that are performing the best. And then of course you can do your own little research as far as like impressions versus clicks. If you're getting a ton of impressions on a keyword but you're not getting any clicks, it's probably not performing that well. If you're getting a bunch of clicks but you're not getting any conversions, that means people are clicking on your website and they're not finding what they were looking for. But Google Ads does kind of help. It's definitely become way more automated and getting more automated over the years. And it does give your keywords a quality score where you can kind of see how Google would rank your keywords. So what kind of leads come in? The lead quality. So the lead quality, I guess it's pretty much what you make it. I have to sound vague or broad, but you can get pretty niche in Google Ads and who you want to target and who you want to be seen by. So if you want the property value to be a certain range, your location to be a certain area, income range, subdivisions, age range, gender, if that matters, but you can get pretty niche in who you want to target. So your lead quality is exactly what you make it. I will say the more niche you get in your lead quality is probably because that lead is going to be a good lead, which means other people are also looking for it. And if that lead is going to be more expensive than if you were to have a broader search term. But nonetheless, lead quality is exactly what you make it. And your lead quality will also be linked to your online presence. There's some stats out there. People do check reviews like 98% of the time. Nowadays, people are checking social media before they choose to work with somebody in a service-based industry. So your leads will be linked to how you present yourself online. Do you have Google reviews? Do you have good Google reviews? Is your face on the website with your social media? People can learn a little bit more about you and your personal life. Do you have luxury homes shown or only luxury homes? Things like that. How you present yourself online is who will more than likely reach out to you because they feel most connected in whatever message you're presenting. So if you only have luxury homes shown, if somebody comes to your website and they're looking to sell a home that's not luxury, they might feel like you might be looking for a different person to work with, and they might just find somebody else. So how you present yourself on your website, on your social media, and things like that is definitely important. And you can send people to feel more connected to you if they can see things online that they can connect with on a personal level. So, last up, these are my favorite part, KPIs. Everybody wants to know what they're going to be making if they're going to invest. So Google Ads is an investment. It's not like I spend this, I guarantee I get this. And if anybody knows me, I'm in real life. I don't know how else to be but transparent. So I just pull these numbers directly off of my account. This is just a screenshot directly off of my account. The numbers are pretty recent, cut off down here at the bottom, but this is from mid-July all the way to the end of September here. And I am an investor, so I look for exclusively seller leads. What you guys might be looking for is a little different. If you're looking for buyer leads, those are typically a lot cheaper, probably a fourth. And I just know that from experience. That's one of the courses I've bought because there are obviously a lot more buyer leads out there than there are seller leads. They can still be found on Google, and they're usually a lot more cheaper. But I figured we go over a few of these seller lead numbers. So basically, over the last 2.5 months for my Google Ads account, I got about 86 conversions. You can see the cost is, let's round it up to just 2,200, for example. And cost per conversion was about $24. Rounding down a little bit, we'll round up to 25. On average, cost per click is about $1.25. So for some of these numbers might sound really good. For some, they might sound scary to spend that much money and getting leads. But the way I see it is, even if I was terrible at sales, like I sucked at sales, I sucked at on the phone, the way I see it is if I had 86 leads, I could probably close one of them. And if I take my average commission, let's say 5, 6, 7 grand on the low end, and I get 86 leads, I spend 2,200 on it, and I close one, usually my return on investment is still 3-4x on 86 conversions. They say the average real estate professional can close about 1 in 30. So if I'm average and I close 3, and you multiply your average commission by 3, then your return on investment gets larger, 7 or 8 or 9x. So it's definitely there. The return on investment is definitely there. If you have good follow-up and consistent follow-up, maybe you'll get 10, 20, 30 deals out of your conversions here. Now, everybody knows real estate doesn't happen in days. It happens in weeks. It happens in months. Sometimes it happens in years. So if you get 86 conversions today, you can work these for the next maybe year. We're getting leads out of these and people following up at the right time and when I might be looking to sell. So that's the way I see it. Google Ads is an investment. It's definitely something you have to invest into to help, and then do your part to follow up and make sure the stuff comes back around. And that is all I had as far as Google Ads. I don't know if anybody has any questions. I did create a video going directly into my account. That way you can see more practical examples and more practical stuff of diving into my account and seeing actually what it looks like, because it is kind of confusing just to talk about it and it's not actually in front of you. So I did create a video. If anybody's curious, just reach out and I can send that to you. But does anybody have any questions off the top of their head?
Feel free to unmute if anyone has questions regarding this.
Yes.
I was gonna say, one of the things I was gonna ask is, for those that are maybe new to obviously Google Ads and online leads, what do you have any recommendations as like a starting budget? Is there a minimum requirement, maximum requirement that you've seen on your side of things?
Yeah, so I would say it definitely depends. I know when I started 6 years ago, my budget was $5 a day, and I was getting leads. Nowadays, it's more or less like taking the average number of cost per conversion and then determining how many conversions you want a month. So I know I have a $24 cost per conversion. And if I want a certain amount of leads every month, I'm going to make sure I spend that budget for it. And obviously, don't go crazy and spend a budget that you don't have. But it definitely depends. Google Ads is something you can scale. You don't have to start at the top. Almost, I actually wouldn't encourage you to start with a high budget just because Google Ads is still learning who you're looking to target. So if you start in the beginning with a large budget, you're going to be wasting ad spend, reaching a bunch of different people until Google Ads can learn who they should be directing your budget to. But I would say you can start anywhere from as low as like $10 a day, probably not as low as 5 when I started. And then you can just kind of scale from there as you start getting money coming in from the Google Ads. Just kind of continuously raise your budget.
I have a question. Um, we already have a Google Ads page through our team business account. Is there a way to set up a second, like, so I have a company that runs all of our pay-per-click ads. So is there a company, can I set up a second one or a third one or a fourth one?
Is there a way to set up a third one, fourth one?
Yeah, like I'm just saying, I don't want to mess with what I already have because I'm paying a company to do all of that, our buyer and seller pay-per-click ads. But
Yeah.
is there a way that I could easily just follow your directions and start a second one?
Yeah, if you already have a Google Ads account set up, there's like a campaign, like on the side that you can click and you can just create a new campaign. It'll take you through the same process, and they'll be in the same account. You don't want to create like an ad set in your current one, just because your negative keywords and stuff will be different. But yeah, if you go to campaigns, it's like on the left-hand side, it takes you to the same process, and they'll be in the same
Okay,
account.
this is a really stupid question. How do I get to that? Because I don't even know how to get to that.
Yeah, let me see if I can share more of my screen here. But let me see.
And Rhiannon, for you, are they actually going through your Google account, or are they going through their Google account and sending the leads to Sierra?
I'm almost positive it's through mine, but I gotta double check. But I'm almost positive it's through mine. As soon as he shows me how to find it, I'll tell you. But I think it's through mine.
Well, let's see. I'm not even sure what account this is, but I'll pull it up. So, like on the left-hand side here, it'll say campaigns. And
I
if you
can't
come
see your
down,
screen.
oh, you can't see it?
Mm-mm.
Oh, 1 second.
I can.
No problem.
I saw it.
Oh, weird.
Is
Hold
it?
on a second. What's this? This and that. Oh yeah, there we go.
Yeah, so you can see I created a bunch of different campaigns when I was testing stuff, just to kind of see. This is an older account for me, but so I could see it would work. I was testing different types of stuff. But yeah, basically there's like a little plus here. You just create a campaign, create new campaign, and you go through the whole process again, who you want to target in this campaign.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, and you can, I mean, it's good to test different bid strategies to see what's working. A/B testing is definitely something important in Google Ads. So
When I was going through this, just getting some stuff set up, it was fairly easy to walk through, step by step. I think Google does a very good job at simplifying it for you.
yeah,
The one thing I do like that, as agents, right, we're typically used to running Facebook ads, and Facebook got, very restrictive on how we can target our audience, where Google, it still is very open with some of those things, and how we can target people. So I haven't completed mine. It's one of those things, I started it and then I got distracted and then forgot, but it was fairly simple to get it set up.
yeah, and yeah, Google Ads definitely gets you a lot more niche. Depending on what your budget is, I definitely say that running Google Ads and Facebook ads together works very well when you're retargeting people who visited your website on Google Ads, but then didn't convert, but then they see you over and over and over again on Facebook. There's still somebody that probably will become a lead eventually. It just wasn't the right time. And if they see you over and over again and you use those together, it's a lot more powerful to use together than separate.
I think too, you know, as real estate agents, we have to think about those headlines, right? And what's the offers that we can be putting out there in those headlines that are actually going to convert. You know, so if you guys are wanting seller leads right now, copy what all of the investors are doing. Cash offers, right? You could almost do an offer guarantee, right? No one says the cash offer is going to be market value, right? I mean, if you get a lead and you know, it's a decent property or whatever, there's investors out there that would be willing to put a cash offer in. It might be 60, 70 cents on the dollar. But that's not our goal. Our goal is to get people to submit their information and for us to be able to connect with them and say, hey, you know, if you are looking for a cash offer, let me get you connected to some of my investors, right? But if you are looking to maximize that equity that you have in your home, let's talk about, you know, what it looks like to get it on the market and for sale and what that looks like to you, right? So my last mastermind I was at in Pittsburgh, the guy did not want to do the cash offer ads because he didn't have anyone, right? He thought he was doing a bait and switch. But at the end of the day, we all know investors, right? And if there's a property and if the seller's willing to sell it for 60, 70 cents on the dollar, there's investors that will buy it all day long. Not, we're providing a solution on putting it on the market and going that route as well.
You guys do the cash route and you get somebody looking to sell at 67% on the dollar, I'll be a buyer for it. So there you go.
Does anyone have any other questions?
Is anybody curious to see the deep dive video directly into my account of kind of me going through the process and showing exactly how my account's set up?
Yes, please.
Okay. Well, that's all I mean. That's all I have. I have a video that goes into my account that I'll send you, Eric. It's a YouTube video, so you can rewind back and forth and kind of see, you know, what my account looks like and how well my account does. And again, all the numbers I have today are based off of seller leads. So if you're looking to target a different audience, buyer leads are a lot cheaper, just because there's more of them. And if you're looking to target both, you can have 2 accounts set up for each one. So I can definitely show you some of the things I have set up.
Taylon, are you able to dive into it right now?
Yeah. I mean, let me see.
Because I think is that the video that you sent me?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's like 30 minutes, 20, 30 minutes.
Let's see. Oh. And if anybody has me on social media, it's also in my social media bio. So I'll pull it up here real quick.
I think one of the keys too, while you're pulling that up is, you know, you mentioned that, you know, that you guys sending them to a website, right, may not be the best converting option. You know, so you guys will probably need to figure out if your CRM or website allows for you to create landing pages. And a landing page is you're collecting the name, phone number, email right there on that one page, right? And then obviously I think those site links are important too. So if you're running home evaluation ads, you know, that may just take them to your guys' home evaluation link within your CRM or within your website. So Carrot, I use phonesites.com for a landing page. If you guys are interested in that, I can get you 14 days free trial. Taylon, do you have any sort of affiliation with Carrot as well?
Yeah, I do. Carrot will give you a month free. I can send anybody a link. They'll set up the website for you. Just kind of give them your information. your headshots and all that stuff, and they'll set it up for you. Yeah, I do have a link. I guess I forgot to mention.
So if you want to send that to me, we can get that out in the email to everyone as well. So, and again, if you guys want a copy of this video, make sure your email's in the chat so that way we can get you guys a copy of this.
Yep, and here. And yeah, Kara websites are pretty popular. I'm pretty confident if I type someone else fast, the Kara website pops up, almost guaranteed. And if you guys are curious what Google Ads looks like, all these that say sponsored here are people that are paying to be at the top of Google. So this is Google Ads, and this is people that are running their campaigns. And if you click on it, it's typically what you get, what you're paying for. Let me pull up this video. So yeah, this is the video I have on Google Ads, and it's a deep dive into my account. I have a few others on there too, as far as hiring virtual assistants to doing some of those mundane tasks, like you can, like you would do, in your videos and stuff. Yeah, I can share this in the chat. If anybody's curious. Yeah, this is basically just me deep diving into my account. You'll be able to see, what what my headers are, what my descriptions are, how many keywords I have in each account, what my cost per click is, what my cost conversion is. As you can see, I've been running Google Ads for a while, so I forget which account this is. I did create a few over time, but this one has like 600 conversions in it. So it's definitely something that works, or I wouldn't be spending so much money on it. But it's definitely a good way to kind of dive in to see what other people are doing and how their accounts work. And I think I go into Facebook ads here too and how they can work together. But this is kind of what your assets look like. As an investor, I target wholesalers too, so you can really niche it down to people who are maybe a little outside the box, but you could also make a client of, and you can get pretty niche with some things in here. So I shared that in the chat. And I did have some other things on here. There's some other videos I have on my social media. If you guys were curious, hiring a virtual assistant that can go through some of this process for you. That way it's not so daunting and hard to set up. There's assistants out there that do this stuff all the time and things like that. You can kind of go through my page and see who you can help streamline some of this stuff through. And most importantly, probably manage it. It's probably the more important part is making sure it's managed correctly. Setting it up, like John said, is not that hard just because Google has gone through the process of making it as simple as possible. It's more or less managing it to make sure it's reaching the audience of people that you want to reach.
Well, cool. He dropped the link to that YouTube video in the chat, so make sure you guys snag that as well. And any other questions, guys and gals? No? Well, cool. We'll get all of this out to you guys. We'll get you the different options for Carrot. If you guys want to rock, check that out. Check out phone sites, whichever you want. Really, creating a landing page, home evaluation, right? Cash offers, guaranteed offer. I mean, you guys could even run Google ads that said guaranteed offer, right? The guaranteed offer maybe from an investor, right? Again, the idea is to make sure that we're running Google ads that convert, and the convert means that we need to get their information, right? If you guys are doing seller seminars or buyer seminars, those could be in a webinar format, right? It could be in a Zoom format like this. Those could be all ways of you going out and capturing people's information through Google. So, Talon, anything else that you wanted to share before we jump off?
Yeah, no, I'm a resource. I know talking about Google Ads is a lot harder than it is actually getting in there and actually doing it. When you see it, it looks overwhelming at the beginning, and then you kind of get through it and it gets easier. But yeah, other than the fact that I am a resource, I did start from beginning to end on this video. So if I didn't answer every question on the Zoom call and you just don't want to ask it right now, this video maybe answers it. And I did put the Carrot link in this website as well, that you can go through the Carrot website. But yeah, I mean, reach out to me. Hopefully I can share my information with a lot of you guys. If you have any questions, just let me know.
Awesome. Awesome, guys. Thanks for joining us today. We'll get the video out this afternoon to everyone. And like I said, make sure you guys hit up Talon if you guys have any questions on this. He is way more of the expert. I have just started diving into it. But I know, for me, really taking it outside of other people's hands and really putting it into my hands and running very specific ads and things that I want to be doing and how I want to target things was important to me. So that's why I wanted to learn this, and I wanted to share it with you guys. And like he said, he actually uses virtual assistants to help him out too with some of the back end stuff. And that's always an option if you don't want to take it on yourself. So, Talon, thanks so much for today. I really appreciate it. And I gotta carve out time in my schedule to make sure I'm the one going back in and getting these things set up.
Yeah. Anybody's, let me know. If you need help too, let me know. I can be a resource there too.
All right, guys. Thanks for jumping on. I will see and talk to you guys later.
Thanks, everybody.